Okay, let's try Google Hangout. That worked so well the first time. Let's do it again. This time with Barbara Schaefer-Bacon with Animating Democracy, a program by Americans for the Arts. I want to talk about some real, tangible social change. Do you see that coming from the arts in communities?
We see it everywhere. I'm going to give you a story right away from Portland, Maine, where an artist, Marty Pottinger, has been working for years through city government with municipal employees. And there it has the theory that if municipal employees make art together and share their art with the community, the connection and the appreciation of municipal employees can really improve. Her first big project was a poetry project with the police. And she connected local poets with police officers. They wrote poetry, they shared it in a calendar with photographs, and then they did readings all over the city. And the morale in the police department and the sense that the community got to know their police officers and got to know them in a different way really immediately proved the point that participation for the officers and the interaction with the community over art was able to really make a difference. And make a change, and she's worked with the DPW and even has a chorus that involves the elected officials and so on. They're continuing their work at a municipal level there.
How did the officers receive this? Did they want to do it again?
They did do it again, and in fact, the lieutenant who was the initial link in the police department is now the police chief in Portland, Maine. And so there's been some wonderful story. And just to give a quick follow-up to that, there was it's a community that it might be thought of as a very white community, but there has been a lot of immigration from Somalia and Sudan, and there were some issues about the way students were trusting the police. The principal asked Marty to get involved, and Marty helped both the students and the police create plays to talk a little bit about themselves and their experiences. And then their dialogue was started by exchanging their plays and having conversation about around those. And again, a huge success that was a direct dialogue that resulted in real change in the communication and the patterns of participation by those youth in the community and by the police with the youth. A real success story.
I didn't expect that at all. To hear it coming from a municipal level, I was wondering if you would talk more about coming from just the individuals in the community. Do you see that as well? Do you see communities organizing in a way to make social change through art?
We do, and Americans for the Arts has the opportunity to work with local arts councils like the Regional Arts Council in St. Louis all around the country. And everywhere we go, programs are expanding so that artists that want to work in community settings are finding ways to develop support. We know that artists are active in the schools and that many artists are trained now as teaching artists. What's special about St. Louis is the CAT program that has been doing community arts training for artists to be in a variety of community settings. But what we see is artists on their own regularly go out and find ways to make a difference in an area that they see a need. And it might be improving the way their neighborhood is participating in a planning project where people might not be getting involved, don't have a voice, don't know how to really talk to the city planning agency, and they create an opportunity for voices to come forward, ideas to get expressed through murals, through mapping, and so on. That's a way change has happened. In Broward County in Florida, there was a real sense that a bridge was needed, a literal physical bridge, to make a connection between two communities, and artists began to go to work on the way that a bridge could be imagined and designed to facilitate a social connection, not just a physical connection as well.
Lisa from CAT is here tonight, so excellent accidental foreshadowing by you. We appreciate that. I just want to, we have a few seconds left. We heard about a little bit of a differentiation in different planes, maybe, that different arts are happening on, and they talk about the grassroots effort in the arts community. Do you see that one being more effective than the other, or what maybe one could learn from the other in some way?
I think a lot of arts practitioners, artists, have been teaching institutions how to do this work more effectively, but I believe that good work in terms of community engagement can happen from an arts institution and from an individual artist. I think both are capable of doing the work. There's a lot more natural quality to artists who make the decision that this is what they want to do. As well, there are many artists who really want to stay in their studios and don't really want to engage with publics and work on their behalf. But we have seen great examples of big institutions working on projects and issues that have to do with environment, that have to do with issues of class in the community and race. We did a program with grants for projects like this some years ago, and 65% of the initial applications all wanted to deal with issues of race, culture, and identity in their communities. And those came from all kinds of institutions as well as directly from artists. Very often, the big institutions may even be using art that has existed. They might be using pieces out of a collection or an old piece of music or opera or theater that has relevance when put in the right context to address issues today. So, but what I love in St. Louis is that the work is not just happening, and you can talk about sort of two plateaus, but the excitement is where it is really happening cross-sector, where artists are getting to know what community redevelopment agencies need, and community redevelopment agencies are getting to understand what artists can offer, and the same with social service agencies.
Barbara Schaefer-Bacon, Animating Democracy, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
A pleasure.
And your great stories, too. Thanks.